Hello everybody and welcome to this video. My name is Vincent. Today I want to talk about a concept that is going to be, I think, very useful for you and that can make you a lot more money actually in your sales. So whether you are a freelance photographer, videographer, maybe an agency owner selling some sort of service or even any sort of products, right? If you are in sales and if you are selling anything to anybody, I think this concept can really help you and this paradigm shift. So what am I talking about? Well, let me first talk about my experience with most salespeople and most people's experience in general with people who are selling anything, right? So I think there is a reason why people and society look at salesmen as sort of like sleazy people. You know, when you think about the word salesman, the image that comes to your mind is like the sleazy snake oil car salesman guy, and it's not really like a positive thing, right? It's usually the image of someone who's really disingenuous and it's just not like a really good person, usually like a pretty selfish person. So I think that's part of the, like, you know, this concept that we have of salespeople. I think it's something that stops a lot of creatives especially from making a lot more money from their skill sets. And the reason for that is because they are afraid to sell, right? They don't feel good about charging other people for their products and services. And for that reason, they end up making a lot less money. And more importantly, they aren't helping that many people, because if you are selling something that you know is good and you know that what you do is good quality and it has value, then it's your duty and obligation to sell that, because you can only help other people and make their lives better with your products or service if you can actually sell that thing to them, right? If you don't sell it to them, then there is no way you can help them. So the other way of going about sales, and I haven't seen too many people go about sales this way, but since I started implementing this and I stopped following like the bullshit sales scripts that are in all sorts of courses and different manipulation tactics, my sales actually improved a lot. Like my conversion rates on sales calls went up a lot. So I was just talking So I was just talking about the traditional way of selling, which is like the sleazy push it down your throat salesman approach. And this new way of selling, or maybe not a new way, but this other way of selling that I see less people doing, is what I would say is like genuine selling, when you're just genuinely trying to help the other person, right? So the way that would look is you would get on a call with them, and it kind of depends, I guess, on what you're selling in terms of how you actually do the sales process. But just as an example, let's say you are selling a service, right? Maybe video editing service, agency service, whatever it might be, right? And you would get on a call and you wouldn't try to emotionally manipulate the other person and try to walk them through your script that you have memorized in your head. Instead, you would actually first just open up to them and have like a brief small talk chat with them. And after that, you would go and start asking questions about their business, about their goals, about their desires, and what they are actually looking for on the market. Because if you're selling anything and someone got on a call with you, that means they are looking for something. Probably they have a problem that needs fixing, but you cannot be sure if what you have to sell is actually going to help them unless you ask them more details about what their problem is and what they are trying to solve. And only once you understand their situation perfectly can you honestly be sure that what you have to sell can be actually something valuable to them or not. So I like to be really upfront on sales calls, and I like to actually try to turn down people who aren't willing to put in the work, or who aren't the kind of people I want to work with. So I have basically two things I'm selling right now. This might change in the future. I have an agency where I basically help YouTubers and influencers to grow on YouTube and get more business and leads through that as a platform. And I also on the side help other people who want to start creative agencies and who want to make more money online through social media, by getting clients on a retainer basis, right? So these are the two things I'm selling, and I'm always really upfront on sales calls. And it's it's like, I think this should be the standard, where you're just being honest and genuinely trying to help the other person. But it is something that isn't the standard, because I have had so many people on sales calls be like, wow, I was really surprised by your approach, because you weren't trying to bullshit me. You were telling me straight, like upfront, how much work it's going to take on my end to make this happen. You told me that I shouldn't expect insane results in the first months. So basically, by just being honest about what you're selling and being upfront with them, and like telling them like, hey, these are the things you should expect, like setting expectations on that first sales call. Just by doing this, you can actually gain the trust of other people a lot easier than if you were trying to manipulate them, in my opinion, because that's what everybody's used to, right? You're used to being sold to. You're used to having a sleazy salesman trying to talk you into something. But if you go into a sales call and you're actually trying to kind of like really have them question whether it's the right thing for them, like things I ask is like, are you willing to put in this kind of work to get these results? Are you okay with having no results for, let's say, first few months, because it takes time to build a personal brand, right? Like, once you are way more upfront, people can get surprised by that, because they are like, oh wow, this guy is just like not trying to bullshit me, he's just telling me straight up how it is. And then they can really evaluate whether what you have to sell is something they want or it's not something they want. But I feel like when you are setting expectations on the first call and you're being upfront with them and just having a genuine conversation instead of like a sales call, I think that's a way better way to go about it. Because the thing is, if you actually ask them more about their situation and you understand whether you have the solution to their problem or not, then first of all, it's a lot easier to sell hard at the end of the call. Because if you know that you can actually help them, you won't feel bad about selling the service that you have, because they will make a positive ROI from it, and you won't feel like you're ripping off anyone or anything like that, because you're not, right? But if you don't ask them questions, just try to sell them something blindly, then you might have that feeling inside of you that like, I'm not sure if this person actually needs this product or service. And that's like, I think, a huge thing that stops a lot of people and blocks them, like mindset wise, and especially a lot of creatives. So to summarize kind of this whole rant and everything, I would suggest every single one of you guys who's selling basically anything to anyone, to, instead of like trying to really strictly follow a sales script and go into different emotional kind of like sales tactics, like just try to be genuinely helpful to the other person, ask them more about their situation, also be interested in them. Like, people really appreciate when you ask them about what their hobbies are, like what kind of person they are, where they're from, like that kind of stuff. Just try to put more positivity and genuineness out to the world, and I think you will start receiving like huge benefits from this as well. So I genuinely believe that like the way business should be done is like win-win. Like, I think the transaction is only good if both parties get a benefit from it. And so set expectations on the first call, be interested in the other person, and have the North Star always be trying to help them instead of trying to sell them. And also, don't be afraid to turn down deals, because if the other person is genuinely not a good fit for the product or service that you are selling, then if you sell it to them, you're just going to cause yourself so much headache and problems down the road, because if they don't get results, they're going to tell everybody how you're a shitty service provider or salesman or whatever. And also you will feel bad that you took that person's money and they didn't get any results with what you sold them, if you have any morals, which I hope you guys have who are watching this video. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video, and let me know what you guys think about this kind of content. I know it's not the usual kind of content that I create, but I really want to help more of you guys who are creatives to get more clients and make money from your passion, because I think that's probably one of the most beautiful things that you can do in this world, if you can make your job something that you actually enjoy and are interested in. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next one.